Torb is actually a fucking horrible father, and I'm gonna touch on this a little bit
that was
in
another
the
one. Hold on.
podcast. He first of all loves his turrets consistently in battle. Now with his daughter in battle, he's gonna be like my baby, but he doesn't give a, then his daughter's gonna die and he's not gonna give a fuck. But when his turret dies, he cares.
That is
This
true.
continuity.
That's a
And also,
fair
he's a
point.
fucking creep. He has comments where he creeps on Symmetra, Diva. Are you really gonna set that sort of example for your daughter, who is a strong female protagonist? Like, come on.
No, that's a fair
Protagonist.
point.
What if Brigitte is kind of pervy with as like just as Torb is like?
Oh yeah. Hey, McCree.
Oh my god, that'd be
That's
funny.
so
Like, what if
old.
she went up to McCree and she's like, yeah, those abs, boy. Like,
So
want you
that
to
badge
be
looks
cool.
good on you.
I think that would be the cheekiest way to go about it.
Hey, what's going on? This is Shannon XC from the OGSP YouTube channel, and welcome to episode 3 of Scrubwatch, a console players podcast for Overwatch. So this being episode 3, we've kind of started picking up momentum. We've got a lot more news to cover in this episode than usual. Obviously, with a new character being announced, and some changes that are being put into the game. PTR stuff that's already on the PTR, things of that nature. So again, I am with my usual cast of Grant, Schneid's, Rustbolt, and Butts. So Rustbolt, without further ado, why don't you start us off with our first topic today?
Alright, first topic of the day is in regard to some of the bugs in the game right now, especially revolving around Moira. Some of her healing bugs. So currently, I think they're looking into patching this, but as it stands right now, her primary heal, which is her just heal blaster, can go through enemy barriers. So what do you guys think of how that affects the game currently? Do you think it should be changed? And what do you guys think?
Well, it makes Anna completely useless because she can't heal through barriers whatsoever. So
Yeah.
it's not a good
It's
thing
true.
for her. And Moira,
Yeah.
Are we talking the orbs, or are we talking the just straight up quick heal?
Primary heal.
her primary,
Not
like
the
the spray.
Oh, okay. But orbs,
Orbs can go
how would
through.
this impact orbs? Okay,
Nothing.
I'm for that. I'm for that change then. If orbs can
That
continue to
en-
go through barriers.
Okay, but you say that enemy, or she can't heal through enemy barriers with her primary
Just the
spray.
healing. Because I don't think that's as like, percentage of what she's doing. Like, I feel like, and that
Yeah.
helps people like Winston. If a Winston can land a jump and time it right,
I agree, because if she can
It's-
heal through the barriers, it really hurts Winston. Because say he jumps in right on top of her, she just fades out of the bubble and heals everybody in there. And then the other, I guess, change to the game that we can talk about in this topic is Sombra, if you guys want to.
Yeah. We can do
Yeah,
that.
we kind of touched on it last week. All the buffs she's getting, and they are live, I believe, right now.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
console.
They're
Yeah,
she's a
live.
terror.
yeah. I was
She
just playing
seems to be
yesterday.
pretty OP based. I haven't played her much, but based on people that I've watched play her, she seems very OP right now. And I know a lot of the high-end players, like high-end Tracer DPS players, are playing her a lot right now.
Oh yeah, I've seen her a ton more just in the past couple days, and yeah, she is. And I think it's a welcome change. I like to see a little bit more Sombra rather than so many Tracers and Genjis. I think she stands a chance against those flankers and is in the squad now.
Yeah, I think she's good. The only thing I would say that maybe they should change back is the hack time from 0.6 back to like
Oh my God, it is.
0.5.
Yeah,
Or,
that's
or
especially
maybe
for
even to
console.
0.75.
that caught me
Yeah.
off guard. How fast
It's
it is.
It's hard for like console people to. I mean, you can react, but you still have to like say do a 180 to get around and actually start hitting them before they finish the hack. It's a lot more difficult.
She's
Oh, yeah.
really tough to break that hack time if you're facing against her, especially as like a tracer.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing about the changes and the only positive to hack time is it definitely helps against the pharmacy. Just because, like, I know I have a tough time dealing with the pharmacy. Just as like if we only had one hit scan in the game, everybody expects the hit scan to be able to like take out the Pharah, but she's still really hard with that Mercy. But if you hack either one of those two, they're both gonna fall.
Yeah,
to the
no,
ground.
that's true. And I'm for more characters that counter pharmacy because, you know, before it was, you know, McCree or Soldier, like those were your only two out of like the 27 characters, or 26, whatever, that you know had the choice of. So maybe more to come on Sombra later. Like maybe we'll be seeing a nerf down the road. Who knows? But hopefully it's not too big because I think she was in need of a buff.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should increase her hack time though.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not back to 0.85, but maybe like 0.75. Meet in a happy medium or something.
Yeah, I agree.
And her EMP. I think that
you don't think it should go through barriers?
no. I think that it should destroy the barrier, but not EMP the people
Hack
behind
people.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby gets real salty about that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
like-
interesting because it's like a you know a sphere type of thing that happens. It's not like a two-dimensional thing. So I mean, it makes sense that it can go through them and hack the people on the other side.
Well, it
Yeah.
should just be LOS, not like a sphere.
Right. Yeah.
The barrier should break the LOS. Anyways,
Yeah, it's more like how cheap would that be if you're returning from spawn and a Sombra is like half a mile away, and you're
no,
within
in the sphere, not at like a
LOS and in the sphere. So essentially, I see
like
what you're
that.
saying.
like a Xenol, like
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah, because
Outside
then you
barriers.
can heal through barriers.
perhaps.
Yeah, or just
It'd be
a
interesting.
Lucio ult. Like a Lucio ult. The same exact effect that a Lucio ult would have.
I got you. All right. Well, more to come on that, perhaps. I would not be surprised if we saw a change to her to follow up. But let's move on to topic 2. This is going to be comparing the community of the PC and the community of the console. What differences you kind of see between the two. Just the sort of people you interact with. And, on the game and off the game. So, obviously, like on Reddit, you primarily have a lot of PC users. But I would say majority of the players, like, in terms of numbers, are going to be console players just because, console is, has a wider audience. Do you think one is more toxic than the other, or not?
I'd say they're probably similar. I don't have as much time on the PC as I do PS4, but they're probably pretty similar. I think the toxicity really ranges when you're talking about like the level at which you're playing.
Yeah, I would 100% agree.
Lower levels, I think it's more toxic just because people are trying to, I don't know, like do things that aren't necessarily right, and somebody will call them out, and then they'll get really upset. But I think if you're playing at a higher level, people have a more general understanding of what you're trying to do as a team, and understand that like being toxic isn't necessarily going to help. Obviously, you're still going to have toxic people at the high levels, but I think it's more likely at the lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, once you get out of that, high 2K, low 3K range, you definitely start seeing, people who care more. There are still going to be those, toxic people everywhere, but you definitely get people who are, just care more about the W,
And if you run into those toxic people, report them. So then you can see that Blizzard bans them.
Report people that don't even deserve it sometimes, Live a little. I'm just kidding.
Fair enough. All right, Bobby, you want to hit us off with topic number 3? Unless anybody have anything else to say about that.
all right. Well, I guess that's a no. So topic number 3, I think that Overwatch competitive needs a new game mode, and I was just thinking about this, and me and Shannon were just kind of bouncing ideas off each other, and I came up with Oddball. So in Halo 3, it was a Halo 3 game where basically you hold a ball. It's kind of like capture the flag, but like you hold it and you have to reach a certain time, each team, certain time that you have to hold it, and then you win.
Oh.
I think that would really be fun because it encourages, like, it's a constant mix in between offense and defense. Because once you get the ball, you play the defense, and then the opposite team goes on the offense.
So you can like bring the ball anywhere within the map.
Correct.
Yeah, usually they have a like a speed reduction on whatever character, or like, you can't use certain abilities if you're holding the ball or something like that.
Yeah, similar to like CTF rules and stuff. But yeah, no, I think it's, it'd be something fresh because competitive is, I mean, you have the 3 classic ones, and we've been playing that for 8 seasons or whatever. So
It'd be nice.
it would be really nice. At least, put it in testing, put it in some arcade modes, and just kind of see how
I
it
think it would have
goes.
to go into the arcade for a while. I mean, it sounds
It'd be
similar
a
to like
really
Capture the
big
Flag,
endeavor.
so it's just so
I
different
think-
from the other game modes. So it would be hard to actually give you a ranking based on that, and then the other game modes because they're different.
No, it'd
You would
they-
also have to have all the maps.
The competitive. No, you could just do it on control point maps. It'd be the exact same thing.
But they'd just make an
Well, no,
algorithm so where
But I'm like saying that game mode, maybe you would lose 25% more on that than say like your standard payload map. It'd be it's completely different.
it takes a lot of testing.
Yeah.
What do you mean you'd lose more?
I mean, like, just saying, like, maybe some guy
like-
who's really bad, they would do really well on that game mode versus doing the traditional assault map or the traditional.
You still have to be
control
good
map.
at the game. Like
Well, yeah, you do, but I mean, like, I don't know. It would be hard because it's completely different than the current.
It'd be very
core that they already
difficult to
have.
bring in.
Yeah, to bring it into the current rotation of
But I think it's a
map
great
types that they
idea.
have, because that's why Capture the Flag's not there. It's completely different and requires completely different teamwork than the other game modes.
Well, it's the same with control point and payload.
Well, payload, you have to get on a payload. I mean, all these come down to like one basic thing. You either push a payload or you capture a point. It's all you do. Bring it in like a flag or like a ball that can move around dynamically throughout the map just brings in a whole bunch of different issues, I think. And it would be a lot more difficult to kind of compare your I guess ability in that game
Your
mode
play.
versus the other game modes.
And then my other idea is the two-way payload. So basically, it starts in the middle, and then each
Like
team,
tug of war.
yeah, like tug of war, exactly. And you have to reach
Yeah,
like certain
I like
checkpoint,
that one.
or you have to reach the end, and you
Yeah.
definitely have to make new maps for that.
That one would be easy to
Those
integrate,
could
I
be
feel
long
like.
games.
I
would say make it a lot shorter, but though, like, yeah, significantly shorter maps, but like maybe wide, maybe like, I don't know. That's an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah, it'd be hard to determine like where spawns would occur. So, like, say you're getting the payload, or you capture the payload in the middle, and you bring it towards your, objective to capture it completely. And where would the enemy team spawn? When would they move closer to it, so then they could get a chance to capture it back?
It would definitely need some.
spawn point. So like the team gets
Right.
like the spawn advantage. Like, did you have to move the payload towards the enemies?
Yeah,
It'd just be like one linear map.
you would
feel like
definitely have to engineer everything around it, so it's fair. And I think Blizzard is definitely capable of doing something like that. Whether we have to make a new map, whether we have to tweak spawn times, things of that nature. But I think that's a more likely thing that we could eventually see.
Yeah, I could definitely see the two-way payload over oddball for sure. But yeah, I do like that
could see
idea.
both. I say, Jeff Kaplan, if you're listening, implement it now. Give me royalties, 5%, and I'll be a happy.
But let me ask
You
you
gotta
this.
patent the
though.
idea first.
Let me ask this though: how is two-way payload any different than a control point map, like a Ilios? You're both going to the same destination. You're having a 6v6 fight, more than likely, on a point, which would be your payload, and then whoever wins is essentially moving the
Yeah.
payload or moving the percentage in their direction
Well,
to 99%. 99 would just be where your payload would end.
It's a more battle of attrition than, it's one round. It's not multiple rounds. It's
a long round.
Yeah, it's
What
a
do you
long
mean
round,
long
and
round?
it's more momentum based than.
And you could fight on the map more than just like if you do a control point, you're literally always at the same control point trying to
Correct.
capture.
Yeah, it's a dynamic point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, I really like the idea. And if anybody else, in the comments or whatever has any other ideas, I think it'd be really nice to hear what other people have because, the current game types are just getting a little bit old, I think.
Yeah, it would also be pretty hard to implement a newer one because most of the time these modes are map specific. So I don't know if Blizzard would basically reuse the maps or they would create 3 more maps just for the new specific game mode.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
But
Yeah. All
really
right,
interesting.
Grant, you want to move us right along, boy?
Yeah. So our team name is called the Copenhagen Crusaders, and we have joined the Overguard, which
Crusaders.
is Cope Crusaders, Copenhagen Crusaders. We joined this arena called the Overguard. They can't call it a league anymore because of Blizzard rights and stuff, but it's basically every week from Saturday to Tuesday from 7 p.m. Eastern to midnight, and you basically queue in the Battle 5 system, and you play random teams in your tier, which is around the similar SR as you. So we haven't started yet. Our first game is actually tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But this is the first week, and it's Arena Season 0. If people want to join, it's for PlayStation 4 and Xbox. They'll have Season 1 coming up afterwards, probably in the next 2 months or 3 months.
I got butterflies.
You guys excited for the game tonight?
Who are
Yeah.
we facing? Have we faced them before?
We have not played this
No.
team before. Nope. But the other 2 teams that we played, Scrim, they're in the same tier as us. So we'll probably play them at some point.
And Grant, could you also give me a link to that so I can put it in the podcast, just so where people can
Yeah.
see where it is and stuff?
It's theoverguard.com, but yeah, I can.
Yeah, but it's very, very cool if you're trying to get into something a little bit more competitive than the basic competitive mode. That
And organized.
yeah, more organized. And yeah, you get the chance to face teams that might be out of your level a little bit, get to learn a little bit more, a lot more teamwork, cooperation.
Feedback from it too.
Exactly, yeah. So
Knowing what you're doing wrong.
I love the idea around it, and yeah, excited for the match tonight. Hopefully we can make it out with the W.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm predicting W's.
I'm too.
I
Yeah.
think the team that we're playing is around, would you say, Russ, 3,100 SR average?
Yeah, 4 of them are between 2,900 and 3K, and 2 of them are 3,300 and 3,200.
Yeah. So low diamonds. I'm sure we can,
Yeah.
with our team, we got low masters, high diamonds, and then Rob.
Gold.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll report back next episode. All right. Schneider, do you want to hit us off with the main topic of episode 3?
All right. It might be tough to guess this one. Not a lot of Overwatch news going on lately, but something did slide under the radar. There's a new hero available. Everybody was thinking it was going to be a tank. I guess they weren't technically wrong, but I, for one, was very surprised when they announced Brigitte Lindholm as the next hero. She's a support type hero. Torchborn's daughter.
Who, baby?
Very interesting. I would say she's like a paladin type of build, like a tank, a tank support, tanky support. Grant might know a little more about those nerdy sort of terms, but yeah, I think she's really cool. What do you guys think? Has anyone played her for starters? I know
Yeah.
Rustbolt has.
I've played her a little bit, but Jeff Kaplan pretty much said it perfectly where it's going to change the entire meta, which is pretty much the meta top to bottom for the most part right now is dive. and it just completely changes that. Where like she can pretty much one-shot combo a Tracer. She can protect herself as
She can
compared
boop.
to right now. You can see Zen sitting in the background tossing out orbs and then just gets picked off by a Tracer, whereas she'll be able to defend herself against those flankers a little bit more. So it'll definitely change things a lot. It'll be interesting to see how she's utilized and when she actually makes it to live instead of PTR, what her finished product will be, because they've already had a few nerfs on the PTR, so it'll be interesting to see what she comes out as finished product.
Oh yeah, because I know like Doomfist got nerfed PTR to live with his like punch distance, so it will be interesting. And I have not yet. I have the PTR downloaded. I just haven't had the time to go on and play her. But yeah, I think the flanker counter that she has is great. I think it's very well needed. Again, I haven't played it, so I don't know. Rustbull definitely knows the most about the workings.
I have a question for Rustbull, or any of you who have played it. Is her shield, so I'm assuming anyone listening to this podcast kind of has seen her by this point, but she has a shield. It's 500 health, 600 health maybe? But does that work like Reinhardt's exactly, where you would basically hold a button either on the console or the PC and the shield's up? Like it works like that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you just hold it up.
You can now block ult too.
It's a self shield, so it's not going to block really anybody else unless you're directly behind her.
Yeah, unless you're directly behind.
Yeah, she can block a number of ults, and she can, but she also, it does break against a lot of ults as well, being that it's 600 as opposed to the other tanks. But like as it stands right now, she can countercharge a Rhine. She can do things that a tank would be able to do, but at the same time output healing.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that she has to do damage to heal people. So other than her.
It's like her flail made.
Yeah, other than her healing patch, I think is what they call it, which gives 150 health / armor. She basically has to use her flail to do passive healing.
So that's your number 20.
Really cool.
What's her passive called?
What is it called?
Flail.
Rally? I forget what it's called. No, Rally's her ultimate.
Yeah, Rally's the ult.
It's like Infinity or like Alinity or something.
Okay, yeah, they don't have it on their official website, but yeah.
Oh, very cool. And also what me and Bobby were talking about, so this is our 27th hero, and, you know, the roster's getting pretty packed, like we're, you know, what is this, the 5th or 6th one?
They're going to keep adding.
Oh, for sure. So we were talking about that, like, in a few years, we might have, you know, more several years probably, more new ones than original characters. And we were wondering if we will sort of get into they'll introduce the idea of banning certain characters per match. So I think
like League of Legends.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So like if you know you're starting the match and you're selecting your character, you might have the option to say, okay,
that would be cool.
Let's vote and say the other team cannot use Tracer, and because you know we might know that they have somebody who's really good at Tracer, but the game is already, you know, there are already so many characters and there's, you know, a lot of other choices somebody could pick instead of Tracer. So
I feel like that wouldn't go over well.
I don't think they'll do it where you can vote as a team on what the other team can use.
I mean, not
It's going to be total, like for the match, like one team bans Tracer for everyone or something. Once they get enough.
Correct.
Yeah, but I feel like you would just see like if a hero's OP, so like say when Mercy was in the Mercy meta, everyone would just keep banning Mercy, and then I could see Overwatch. Hey, it would be nice, but Blizzard would hate that. They would be like, no one's playing Mercy because everyone just keeps banning her, and
that just means that she needs to get nerfed.
I mean,
right. But they don't want that to happen to their game. I don't think. As a game developer, if I created something, I wouldn't want one hero to be specifically singled out every single time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could cause issues with them.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
How does it work with League of Legends? I mean,
I don't
would
know.
be the
I've never
case,
played
but
League.
I would
Well,
look at that data.
Yeah, you
or-
have
or
to. You
see
have
how
to
they
think. Shides, you have to
structured
think
it.
like League of Legends has like 50 plus characters. Like we only have 27, so this is in the
No, I
in the
would-
future.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's definitely not going to happen like within a year. Like it's going
It's
to be.
just a cool talking point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that would encourage like people to be able to flex more, because if like that, like I don't know, like if you're playing against Dallas Fuel, like you're gonna ban like, and Mickey's playing, like you're gonna ban Diva because you know that he's a really good Diva player, and his other characters are weaker.
And by that time there might be a character that's very comparable to Diva, not necessarily like the same abilities, but the same role.
No, but it could be good for balance, like especially at a pro level. I didn't even think about that because then you can kind of check people and make at any level check people, and they can't one trick if they want to win.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
still not a fan of. I'm still.
But
Not
there's also a small chance that your character would get banned. It's just something that you got to consider.
Yeah, and that just encourages flexing and such.
Yeah. I
So-
think the overall conclusion from it is just it'll be interesting to see what they do when they get to having so many characters.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right. So y'all want to start the wrap up with Mr. Grant's Overwatch quiz?
it's fine with me.
All right.
Torbs
Lead
the
us
bad
off.
father.
All right. So this one's pretty boring, but it's directed towards Shannon, since you play a lot of Roadhog. I mean,
Oh,
just a little bit.
Roadhog.
But how much damage does his hook do?
Oh god damn it. Oh.
40?
Oh man. Alright, I'm probably just gonna be throwing out a number, but I am going to say I'm gonna say 35 damage.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer, locked in.
Bobby, what do you want to say?
I'm gonna guess 25 because I think as Tracer, if you get hooked, you get 125 health.
The answer is 30.
Damn it!
I thought you were going to get it.
I was
It's the same
gonna
as a
say
melee.
30.
Yeah, it's the same as a melee.
Alright, well, nobody has yet to get a question correct on a live episode.
I don't know, I thought that would have been an easier
I
one.
got
No,
one
Bobby.
right.
Bobby got one right, but it wasn't a live episode.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
canon. No, not canon.
What was the question? Oh, it was something about McCree.
Is the name of his gun.
Name of his gun.
Peacemaker.
Alright, I'll
Nice.
do a map question next, but it has to be towards Rustbolt because I haven't asked him a question yet.
Alright, well,
Boy, I'll
study
be
up.
studying up on my maps.
Alright.
Alright, so let's go on to the
You,
shout out section. Who would like to go first?
I will. I'm gonna shout out to Bush. It is my other gaming fuel, and
Heavy or light?
W or non-W?
oh, it's a W winner.
I was basically just asking, are you a man or not, son? And you answered the right answer. Heavy.
Nice.
So go out, support Bush. It's found at your local gas station. It is $18.99 for a 30 rack. Get 30 nice 12 fluid ounce beers.
Very nice.
How much percent alcohol?
Heavy is 5.
Oh.
I also really like Bush as like a lighter heavy beer. Of course, I don't drink Bush Light. Silly of me if I would.
All right, I will go next unless anybody's itching. I was going to say so PlayStation Plus members get free games every month, and on the 6th of March, they have a pretty good pack going out for free. You'll get the standard edition of the game Bloodborne on PS4 for free, and Ratchet and Clank, the new one it's kind of shitty, but like I'm more excited about Bloodborne. I already own it. I've beaten the DLC as of recently. But everybody who has an interest in Dark Souls or Bloodborne, I think you should definitely hop on it. It's a free of charge as long as you are a current subscriber.
All right. Mine goes out to a guy named Lamar Chambers, who was arrested in the UK. He's 24 years old. He was arrested for drug charges, and the police think that he swallowed the drugs when he was arrested. So they've held him in prison for the past 45 days, waiting for him to poop, and he has not pooped yet.
Oh my god. But it depends on what kind of drugs they are too. Those might have just dissolved inside of his stomach.
I have no idea.
Wait, he hasn't pooped at all?
Like
No,
I
he
wouldn't.
hasn't. It's been 45 days.
What the hell?
I wouldn't eat the bag. I would just eat the drugs.
Yeah, I don't know if he ate the bag or the drugs, but it said
Why
that
don't
he
they
ate the
drug
drugs.
test him?
I don't know. Maybe they can't. But
Maybe he won't.
I think he needs to poop.
The thing is, he's been eating too. He's been eating like granola bars every day and
That man
fruit.
needs Fiber One.
His mom came to the prison and made him food.
Wow, what a thug! I think he should be released. Honestly, that is impressive.
I don't know the state of him currently because the latest update was from February 26th, but still pretty
What's his
impressive. His name is Lamar Chambers.
All right, well, Lamar, we're rooting for you, buddy. If you are listening to this,
Free
we are
Lamar.
rooting for you. I will be
Free
following your endeavors.
There
Free
is a
Lamar.
hashtag poo watch.
When you get out of there, Lamar, take a shit on their fucking doorstep. Go do some nice drugs. You've earned it.
Alright, who hasn't gone?
All right, I have not gone. This is my shout out is based on a article / video I saw today talking about esports as a whole, and it was talking about how by 2050 it will more than likely be a sport in the Olympics, and in 2022 the Asian Games are set to trial it as a medal event, and expectations that the IOC could jump on board as supporting it in the 2024 Olympics. So
Damn.
it's supposed to grow quite a bit and start getting integrated into things like the Olympics. So shout out to esports as a whole.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
Nice, that's pretty cool.
All right. I got mine. So okay, there's this Reddit post I came across right before this, and the title is "My teenage son got caught playing Torsborn. Am I a miserable failure as a father and a human being?" And that's written by Epic Live 7. It was actually submitted about a year ago. I just googled "Is Torb a bad father?" And yeah, some of the highlights. Basically, he's caught his son playing. It's satirical, but let's see. Basically, he tells his son not to play Torge, and then at the end he says, 6 months passed without further incident. He straightened up, quit drinking Monster, all that shit. I thought I'd done my job, but no. I just gave him more of an incentive to hide this disgusting behavior. So, whether I agree with him or not, I thank this father for sharing his story. It's hilarious. Go check that link out.
Oh, yeah. Alright, Bobby, did you do yours? Oh, yeah, he did. He went first.
Bush.
That's true. All right, I think we're all good on that. All right, and this is the area where we would give our audience shout out. We did not get a specific shout out, but we have a
big follower.
A fan per se. He might be fake. It might be a bot. We're not sure. True. He goes by Quick Shot 619 on PS4. He's been a supporter of our streams and our podcast. Just wanted to give him a little shout out. Again, Quick Shot, if you have anything you would like to shout out on the show, please just leave it in the comments and we will definitely read it aloud. So, glad you enjoy the show and keep on overwatching, sir.
And get aggressive.
So that's it for episode 3. Thank you everybody for joining. Again, comment section for future shout outs, and hope to see y'all in the next one, episode 4.
All right, see you boys online.
All right.